All right, guys, we're starting. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to Nerd Tube. We are talking Book of Boba Fett, Episode 7, In the Name of Honor. I am here with a whole bunch of guys and girls, or guys mainly, and we're all talking about the show. We've all seen the show. It is the finale, so I think we might do a season finale review at the same time as an episode review. First of all, Cousin Cheeto, how you doing?
Hanging in there, doing good. About time we had a cameo
Wonderful.
from Boba Fett in his own show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
And,
long-range joke, but it still tracks.
It's all good.
Beneath me, we have Ginger Greek. How you doing, mate?
Greetings and salutation, you fat piece of I mean, all right, Zam, how's it going?
Fine. I was about to use that pot calling the kettle black catchphrase from Star Wars, but I forgot how it goes. Yeah, the one.
Kettle jabber.
Yeah, and last but by no means least, and he's from Manchester though. Gary, how you doing?
Good. It's good to be back.
Wonderful. I love it. Fantastic. Okay, so this was the final episode. I did think that we were going to get Boba Fett back after 2 episodes of him barely or not being in it, and people have different perspectives on how they see this particular episode. It was really action packed, that's for sure, and I'm not sure if that really appeals to people because maybe they wanted a bit more balance, because it was pretty much the majority of this episode was just pew 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 and fucking all types of shenanigans. But was there really much resolve in the story? I'm not so sure, but I did feel we did get some payoffs throughout the course of this episode, the Rancor being probably one of them. Anyway, before we break down certain elements of this episode, as well as this season, I'm going to start first of all with Ginger Greek, because he's been bursting to say some shit. And I saw what you wrote on Facebook, mate. So what have you got to say so far about this episode and this season?
Well, the episode itself just did my head in, because Robert Rodriguez is just apparently abysmal at shooting action. Never thought I'd say that, but this did my head in. It was okay. It didn't blow me away. There were just so many stupid decisions made that, like, even a basic army cadet could look at this and go, "This is just bad military strategy," and it just translates so poorly on screen. Frankly, if it wasn't for the Rancor, this thing would have just been a meh episode. But the Rancor stole the show, as did Black Chrysanthemum as well. Yeah, it was nice to see Boba do some things, but the things he was doing weren't very smart. Like, you attack the pikes with your jetpack, stay in the air. You don't need to go to the ground. You don't ground yourself. Nobody in their fucking mind will do that. Then we had the mod gang, and we had frizzy head cow bossing Boba around about what to do, and it's just like, really, you're like 12 years old, for fuck's sake. What is this like? That just irritated me. I don't, the Cad Bane was the best thing in it, and he's gone, maybe.
Yeah.
He's only on the screen for a few minutes, but the few minutes we get of him were just brilliantly done, well acted. Yeah, just a fantastic transition from cartoon to live action. Yeah, that's it really. Those are the only real positives. Oh, and Fennec Shang hanging the mayor was great as well. I'll give her props. The way she slaughtered the pikes in there was wonderfully savage. Yeah, that's it.
Very assassin-like.
Other than that, I just, well, I'll talk about overall. So series overall, it's all right. It's not gonna leave any major memories in me apart from how amazing Luke Skywalker looked in the last episode. That just, I'm just sitting there now and I'm just, you know what? Just do Han, Luke, and Leia digital, and just do a new trilogy that erases the sequel trilogy canon, and just run with it, baby. They've got the technology, so just do that. Tamura Morrison was crap throughout the whole show. I'm sorry. Did not like him as Boba Fett. He could not be bothered to act anything. we went from a supposed badass bounty hunter to a pet loving nonce who takes his orders from people beneath him. Yeah, and his performance was just boring. Felix Shang, aside from the generic badassery, was actually quite a joy to watch her blow the shit out of things. But yeah, the best characters was a Twi'lek, the mayor's consort or whatever he was, Black Chrysanthemum, and the fucking Rancor. Um, the Mandalorian episode was great. It was good seeing him, but now that Grogu's back, I don't really want to see Mandalorian season 3. Now that green little shit's going to be in it, and it's just like, okay, we've been there, we've done that. What's he going to do? He's going to eat things and use the Force every now and again, then fall asleep. Great. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Overall, I'd give this show about a 5 out of 10.
The return of Grogu. The return of Grogu kind of like undermines season 2 of the Mandalorian finale as well. Like that was supposed to be a big deal, but it's status quo, back to normal again. You see this a lot with series. Just when you think they're going to be taking a change, a little bit here, a little bit there, and then it's back to fucking normal again. And Grogu and the Mandalorian are back together again. So yeah, and I hope we don't see. I do. One thing I do hope is in the future we don't see more Luke Skywalker regarding the Mando and Boba Fett. If we do see Luke Skywalker again, I want to see him more in the Ahsoka series.
Agreed.
In the future. Yeah, that would be the best way to use him. All right. I'll go with you, Gary, if you don't mind. What do you think of this episode? What do you think of this series?
This episode reminded me a lot of those Western episodes where you get like that somewhat Tombstone or OK, like last, the OK Corral or Rio Grande or something like that, where you see like the DD with like a lot of guns trying to like find off like the Mexican army or I guess whoever and trying to hold him up. It reminded me a lot of that. Now, considering that this was pitched to us as like the Godfather in space or the Goodfellas in space or the Sopranos in space, it's a little bit underwhelming because because the Mandalorian is basically a Western in space, and I wanted something a little bit more different from Boba Fett because again he's trying to be this crime boss and stuff like that. And
this was Bonanza in space.
Yeah, this is more like Bonanza. Yeah, exactly. Like this is more like a Western than it is like a Sopranos. Because what I wanted to happen was maybe like all those like kids, instead of like standing up and fighting like the droids and stuff like that, or the Massive Army, maybe they go off and they kill different people, like in The Godfather or in Sopranos, like they take strategic tactics out. I would prefer that because it shows that Boba Fett is, even though he's trying to do things the right way, he's not above killing off people to try and solidify his power base. And this just felt a little bit too cowboys, as I said, a little bit too bonanza-ish, too much of last stand against an insurmountable army. I mean, to you, as I said, the shield droids things was a little bit OP, I think, and then they were just there, so they had a reason to bring out the Ranko, I thought. And again, I did. There were things that I liked about it, but it was just, as I said, this series, as I said, I was trying to get into this series, but again, I mean, I hate to agree with it, but I do agree with what Ginger said that, I love Tamir Morrison. He's a great actor. If you watch the New Zealand film he was in When We Were Warriors, he's superb.
One for Warriors, yeah.
It just, I think that it throughout.
Great film.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great film. But in this, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's just bad direction or he's just been told to play the character as a total. Has no personality whatsoever. But Boba Fett is supposed to have a personality. He's supposed to have things that he likes, Yeah, he's supposed to be very stoic, but he's supposed to have a personality on top of that. And I do agree that I didn't want Grogu to come back. I wanted him to continue using the Force. And maybe that forces the Mandalorian to look within to see who does he want to be now. Because he's got Grogu one for him, the rest of the group states away from him now. He's revealed that he took off his helmet, so it's we could get a totally different character for the Mandalorian that he's trying to go back to, show that he's worthy of the armor and stuff like that, and it could be a really interesting story to see where they go with that. And it just feels like that. I mean, they're just chasing a quick buck and getting Grogu back. But the fact that I'm talking about the Mandalorian and not Boba Fett in the Boba Fett's old series, it shows you how poorly this has gone. That the good things about this series has been Black K and K Bane. And I hate the fact that K Bane was killed because he's an interesting character. He kind of reminds me of Clint Eastwood a little bit with the teeth and the way he talks. It kind of
he's supposed to be Lee Van Cleef from the bad Angel Eyes. That's what he's supposed to represent, apparently.
Actually, I see that now with the way he's dressed and everything like that. He just misses like the two, But yeah, as I said, this episode was a little bit too was a bit too OK Corral and not enough like the end of Godfather 2 or Godfather 1 or like an episode of Sopranos where he'd have people be taking out and stuff like that. I'd rather have seen that than seen this flaming entire shit show of a fight. Maybe see the robots in after maybe he's taken out the strategic targets. That's a suggestion from me.
All right, let me just quickly read a couple of the messages from Daniel Vance here. I'm so underwhelmed by Black Chris. Spartacus, he is not given more than one enemy, and he folds every time. Yeah, well, I mean, we're talking several enemies, but, I guess that makes sense, even if he's a big-ass Wookiee. I like the fact that he was very durable, but he seems to, get shot a few times, and he's within 30 seconds, he's running again. During the chase scene with Grogu, as the conveyance is destroyed, they missed the perfect opportunity for Grogu to show off his force jumping ability. Yeah, I guess. I did like the way he walked, though. There's something about that, but still him coming back. It's a lack of ideas, isn't it? They don't know what to do.
They had the perfect opportunity for Grogu to wield the black saber to take out the robot. That would have been.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't be able to put his hands around the hilt, would he?
Yeah, he's a bit small for that.
Maybe he can force use it.
Use the force, just launch it.
Yeah,
that he could.
So, I was very happy in a way during the course of this episode that we didn't see Luke Skywalker because I was a bit, I did geek out a bit when I saw the X-Wing coming in to Tatooine because Luke Skywalker's home is Tatooine, he's returning home and all that shit. But in a way, I was kind of relieved that he wasn't inside it. It was good to see R2-D2 again, but the last thing we need is more of, more bigger names, so to speak, taking over from Boba Fett on his own show. I'm very also happy that there wasn't this Han Solo or Kira cameo, as a lot of people were suggesting in this episode 2, because then it would set a precedent that every finale in Star Wars series needs a fucking massive cameo at the end. And I'm glad that didn't happen because we should still be surprised, when we do get a surprise. We shouldn't be expecting it like a fucking M. Night Shyamalan twist. So I'm happy that didn't happen in a way.
You don't want to throw your eggs into one basket as well because there's more series coming.
Exactly, and there were.
Sorry, fine.
No, there were certain things set up in this season that were kind of paid off during the course of the final episode. So as long as we get that, then we don't necessarily need a Han Solo fucking de-aged fucking Harrison Ford. Some people said that they should have got Alden Ehrenreich or whatever the fuck his name is. That's stupid because this is set after Harrison Ford's performances in Star Wars. So why the fuck would you want him? You know what I mean? So it makes no sense. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm glad all the speculation about certain characters being in this, because there's a lot of rumors of Harrison Ford being in this. Maybe with a young Ben Solo as well. I'm glad that didn't pan out as well. But the way this show ended, it did feel like it was the end of a book. There was no real tail ends to or like loose ends, so to speak, to lead into another season. And I don't mind that. I mean, if we do have a second season of Book of Boba Fett, hopefully they'll learn from their mistakes and give us something more palatable than what we got this time around, because it wasn't gangster enough, as far as I was concerned. I still didn't mind the show for what it was, but it wasn't gangster enough. So hopefully they'll learn from that, So we'll see how that goes. But as far as I'm concerned, this season ended like it wasn't going to have a second season. And if anything, they followed on with Mandalorian and Grogu, and that's where it feels like it's setting its sights on. Jon Favreau had no idea what to do with Boba Fett, because the moment the flashback episodes were over, we weren't really focusing on Boba Fett anymore, which is ridiculous, because some people were hoping for the flashbacks to be over, and then we could focus on what's going on ahead. But nope, as soon as that happened, fucking Mandalorian, fucking Luke, fucking Skywalker, fucking Ahsoka Tano, Grogu, fucking Cad Bane, fucking Cobb Vanth, all these motherfuckers. Anyway, that's me enough for what I think of it. Boss man.
Well, I mean, could it be that they don't have enough faith in the Boba Fett character in him bringing people in? Because it seems like, you know, every time they want to give him something, they sort of like hang back. They'll bring in the guy from Timothy Olyphant, or they'll bring in somebody else. It's like they don't think that he's a captivating enough person. I mean, he is. Samuel Morrison is a captivating screen presence, and I just
let me tell you what it is. Yeah, they done Boba Fett as Din Djarin. Din Djarin is more Boba Fett than Boba Fett is. So once they created the character of Din Djarin, guy doesn't take his helmet off, very stoic, man a few words, all yada yada yada. And then they had to focus on Boba Fett. They had no idea what to fucking do. But the last thing they want to make him is another version of fucking Din Djarin, even though Boba Fett came before him. So they had no idea what to fucking do. So they gave him this sort of like changing character, being part of a tribe and all of that. And we knew what he looked like because Timothy Morrison played his dad, and we knew he was a clone and all of that. So that's really the sort of route I think they went down. They almost like done a clean slate with him and changed his character, gave him a different purpose, so to speak. And I'm not sure if that's really what they really should have done. Is that he should have found his ship and started bounty hunting again. That's what he should have fucking done. You know what I mean? Like reclaim his title as the baddest bounty hunter, and maybe have this competition with Cad Bane or something along those lines, instead of being a crime lord.
No,
both Mandalorian and Boba Fett are fucking bounty hunters, and we've had 3 shows with these motherfuckers, and we've hardly seen any bounty hunting. Anyway.
Yeah,
I was going to say, but they did say to us that they were going to give us the Goodfellas in space or the Sopranos in space, and they didn't give us that.
Nope.
What they gave us was Dancing with Wolves, or Flaming Avatar, the Blue Avatar, combined with the last with a cowboy film, combined with
Last Samurai.
Yeah, Last of the Mohican, combined
Last
with.
Yeah,
with Last Samurai crap. And the thing is that
combined with the Mandalorian.
Say what you want about the Mandalorian, it is one thing. It's a cowboy film. It's a lone gunman against the universe. That's what the Mandalorian is. This is several times, and I'd rather that they stuck to one thing, which was maybe the Sand People kind of are the ones who sort of like getting to see things from a different way, but he still is at heart, so he will take the violent path in order to get what he wants. So maybe we do see him be more of a Tony Soprano-esque. That Tony Soprano was a good man, but he did bad things to
I think Soprano was not
hold on to power or solidify power.
Tony Soprano was a terrible person, man. You seen the Sopranos, mate? He was a fucking. I mean, he cared about his daughter and his son, and so yeah, like.
Yeah, but Boba Fett, see, that was the problem. This is what annoys me with Disney. They lack the balls to just go balls to the wall and just say, like, you know what? If we're gonna make Boba Fett a badass, let's make him a badass. Let's make him a ruthless, turning from a bounty hunter to becoming a ruthless gangster, and going around and taking territories and getting his revenge. And then when he controls everything, then he's like, right, those old days are done now. We're bringing some stability here. The spice is gone, all this kind of shit. But along the way, you shouldn't know what his intentions are. It should just be he's going here and he's taking out. You've got 7 episodes. He only features in 5 of them. So in those 5 episodes, all you do is you focus on a particular gang in each one. So you had all the different species and all of that. In each one, he just takes them out, and then he gets to the end, and he rises to the top, and then he sets a new president. That is a lot more interesting than the crap we got, which is a lot of nodding and Boba being told what to do.
Yeah. Well, no, look. Sorry, Cheetah, if you want to say anything, but I just want to say that regarding Boba, like this is new territory for him. He's someone who gets given orders, not actually extract orders by telling people what to do. He gets told what to do, and I think he's more used to that than giving orders. So in a way, I'm not too fussed about that because that's what he's more comfortable with. He's still learning the ropes of being a leader instead of being a follower. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's the only way I can like window dress it. Cheeto, you got anything to say?
I mean, I like this episode well enough. It was all in the present, and it was all with Boba Fett, and I mean, that's kind of what I wanted from the show. The Rancor scene was really cool. And that's what I wanted Boba Fett to do something cool to prove that all the Boba Fettites or whatever they call themselves, Fettites, that that Boba Fett's cool. Here's the reason why. Well, I mean, he did a cool thing, but I mean, the series overall was pretty much a joke. It was basically Star Wars season 3, like Star Wars on
Mandalorian,
or on Disney Plus season 3, because really, Mando was in there, and I mean, Luke was in there, and all this stuff, and it's just like, he was a cameo star in a couple of his own episodes, and it was just bad. There were great episodes of The Mandalorian in there. I thought so. I know Ginger didn't think they were good, but I mean, I thought there were some great episodes in there, but they were just plopped right in the middle of they were just plopped right in the middle of the Boba Fett series, and it's like, I feel like John Travolta, like trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
I know,
but I want to know how Boba Fett regenerated his rockets throughout the episode, because he fired one of those rockets off at the beginning, like when the crawlers came in, and then later on in the episode when he was fighting Cad Bane, he had the rocket back on there. I'm like,
that's what that was.
Huh?
Bad continuity. That's what that was.
No, he's got some kind of special Boba Fett
regenerate. He put it in the back to tank.
Yeah, he put his rocket back in the back to tank, and it grew a new rocket. So, I mean, but to me, this episode was fun. I love the fact that they were on the back foot the whole episode. Well, most of the episode, and they kind of had to dig themselves out. Like, I get it. Like, there was the moment where everybody shows up, but even when everybody showed up, then they really got their asses handed to them with the droids, and I enjoyed that part. And so even with Black Krrsantan coming in, and all the Freetown people coming in, and Sam. But I really like, after that, even them being on the back foot, then I really enjoyed kind of how that was. So the episode as a whole, I actually pretty much enjoyed. I even enjoyed, like Mandalorian being in there. The season and the show as a whole, as a Boba Fett show, is a joke. Like, it really was. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I really enjoyed a lot of the modern day stuff. I felt like the flashbacks could have been one episode, maybe one entire episode, maybe. Like, I mean, I get it. People want to know more about the extended lore of Star Wars and the Tusken Raider. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But it went over like 3 episodes, and then we got bullshit in the modern day. I kind of wish they would have condensed it to one episode. Well, and then there really was, to me, except for the betrayal, there was no real payoff to that. Like, Cad Bane telling him, "Oh, you thought that the biker gang killed the Tuskens, but actually it was the Pike Syndicate." That's the only payoff. The other, I mean, Zam was theorizing that the female Tusken was going to come back and kick some ass, and I mean, granted, not really.
Not at all.
Well. The thing is that I personally like the Sam. I don't, as much as I was making fun of it for being like a bit florey with like your Dancing with Wolves, Last Samurai, Flaming, all that sort of stuff. I did like it because it went into the sort of the
lore.
There's the law, well, not law, but like what some people like, what their civilization's like, that sort of thing. And I
didn't mind that for one episode.
That we got to see more into the way that their civilization works. And I like that. But again, but the thing is that as I said, it just felt like he was And it just felt very unfocused. I mean, I personally would have rather seen that. We seen him come out of the Starlight Pit, and we seen him go through the adventures with the Sand People, so we could get more of the lore of the Sand People. We get more of their civilizations, what they're like. Because again, all we see them is being to play just basically savage-like, but we're more seeing that they are more civilized than we've been led to believe. So maybe that's something that Boba Fett can get an appreciation for. I mean,
I think
maybe
we've
that
got
would
a
have
lot
been
of
an
their lore, by
interesting.
the way. I think we've got quite. Don't you think so, boss man? Like we got so much of their lore. We got a lot of their understanding, hunting for the melons and the fucking lizard going up the nose and building the gaffy stick and the hallucinations and shit like that, and learning how to fight and being part of a tribe and obviously him getting roped up and stuff. I think we got a decent amount of Tuscan, but my only issue with them was that they were just there to be killed. Like, come on, that was just so cliched. I was really disappointed in the writing that they did that. Like, oh, Boba needs to get his revenge and stuff like that. And I did like the fact that the biker gang was used as a ploy by the Pikes, but I was really pissed off with Boba that because the Pikes don't want to pay two different syndicates. Boba made it his problem when it shouldn't have been. He said, "I don't give a fuck, mate. You know what I mean? You have to pay me." Regardless of another syndicate out there, that's not my problem. That's your problem. And so he made it his problem, which was really stupid. And yeah, but I'm sorry, I kind of lost my train. I lost my train of thought.
No, it's all right. Because I was going to say I saw something on Twitter that was an interesting idea that it might be for series 2 that people want Emilia Clarke to come back because she was in the
Kira.
She was in thingy. She was in the film, wasn't she?
Also, yeah, but I'm glad she didn't. No, but this is the thing, boss man. Like if we keep getting a cameo at the final episode of every season of Star Wars, then it's going to become the norm, and people expect that. And it's really important that doesn't happen in every season finale of any Star Wars show, that we get a super cameo, because then it'll be expected every time. So I'm glad they nipped that in the bud this time around, and they didn't give us that.
I feel like they built up the characters that were. I felt like they built up the characters that were there, like well enough that we didn't need it. Like we really didn't need it in this season.
I mean, what I mean, if Han comes back for the last 5 minutes, what's that going to do?
That annoyed me, and something that annoyed me that again, hopefully you guys agree, was the Bacta tank was too OP. Like it was used to solve everything. It was used to solve everything from flaming the clap to flaming your mortal wounds. It's ridiculous looking less.
Oh God!
Yeah, I'm not too. Look, I'm not too
bring
fast.
back Jabba the Hutt. You wait and see.
I'm not too fussed about the. You saw what happened to Luke in Empire Strikes Back. I mean, he got beaten up by a fucking abominable snowman, and he was suffering from hypothermia. So I'm not too fussed about
that plot armor juice is what that is.
Plot armor,
but
baby.
regarding that, Daniel, sorry, I missed Daniel Vance's comment. He said he wanted to see Cad Bane in the back of the tank. No, because Boba Fett wanted him dead.
I agree with Daniel Vance. I half expected it to be Cad Bane in there, because as soon as they said it's being occupied, and then like I saw Black Christansson walking by, because I assumed it was Black Christansson in there at first, and then when I saw him, I'm like, okay, I'm like, oh God, he put Cad Bane in there, didn't he?
Nah, straight away I went to Cobb Vance. That's why when it cut to him in the back to tank, I was like, I knew it was going to be him.
Wow,
I knew it.
That's because you're super smart, Ginger.
Yeah,
Star Wars is becoming worse than fucking DC. They don't know when it comes to like killing off characters. They just don't do it. They come back to life in some capacity, whether it be Emperor Palpatine or fucking Darth Maul or Fennec Shand or anybody else who's escaping my mind right now.
Book of Boba Fett season 2 is going to be, and somehow Cad Bane returned.
Well, the fact that we saw his corpse and we saw even though he was stabbed, there was something blinking on his chest to indicate something. I just, if Fennec Shan could be shot in the gut and be left for dead, and for hours upon hours still be left for dead, and somehow make the miraculous recovery, I don't see why it can't happen to Cad Bane. But I would feel that would cheapen his death, because eventually some of these characters need to die. Darth Vader died, Luke Skywalker died. Some of these characters need to die, but Cad Bane needed a bit more live action.
Mods need to die. Opinion. Season 2, episode 1. I just want to see the mods on the floor dead.
Well, the Gamorrean guards died, and they didn't get a fucking. They got forgotten about instantly. But I'll be honest with you, there is something absolutely hilarious hearing them squeal like pigs.
As they come into their death.
Well, when Black Rickarson was beating them up, and then he thought, I fancy some bacon, and he took a bite out of one of them. And they were squealing like pigs. That made me laugh. And then when they got thrown off that cliff and they were squealing like
that's what loyalty gets you, everybody. Thrown off a cliff edge.
Gets thrown you off a cliff.
But I guess somebody had to die apart from his crew. And
should have been the mods. Because everyone would have cheered and held it as the greatest episode ever. They would be like, I don't care about the episode. The mods died. This is 10 out of 10. Fantastic.
Well, some mods did die, but the more recognizable one.
Yeah, the more recognizable ones need to die.
It was really funny because the female one told the male one, how many guys are out there? And he goes, I don't know. And I think to myself, mate, you got a fucking supersonic eye. You should be able to beep, 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 beep. Oh yeah, there's 15 of them. How can you?
The eyes are good to zoom in where he can already see. Just like, oh, you're on the roof. Wait, let me switch my eye on. Yeah, you're still on the roof. Okay, good. And that's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a good scene with the droids. Obviously, it was a callback to the prequels and stuff like that. And apparently, those giant droids with the bubble shield, they were concept art droids initially for the prequels, and they never got used. So they ended up being used for this. Sometimes it reminds you of video games as well, because you saw their shield when it was getting really damaged. A bit of it was red, so you could tell that was the weaker side and stuff like that. Just like fucking video games. I didn't mind that. Din Djarin still can't fucking use a Darksaber to save his life. Absolutely useless with it, but I don't mind that, because he shouldn't. Yeah, he is a badass, but he's not good at everything. So I'm totally fine with that. I do hope they play with the Mandalore lore now next season.
All it's going to be is him going around with Grogu, and Grogu eats random shit, and then he tries to steal every ball he can find, and then Din Djarin's like, "Don't touch that! Don't touch that! Don't do that!" I mean, it's gonna be like the Muppet Adventures of Grogu and Din Djarin.
Well, no, but look, in season 1, he got conscious and he saved Grogu, and then he was just trying to escape. But then the armor smith at the end of season 1 told him, you got to bring him back to his own people, which was the Jedi. That was the quest of season 2. There's no real quest in season 3, so
because it's not his show.
Yeah, it's a Grogu show. It's what Grogu sells.
Do you think we're going to see him trained to be a Mandalorian? Do we think Grogu's going to end up talking?
I thought he said. Didn't he say 1 or 2 words in this?
There you go.
If he starts talking like Flaming Yoda, I'm out.
I think I heard him say. I mean, it might have just been like little sounds, and it just sounded like a word. I don't remember when he was first got on the planet and he was talking to What's Her Face, or when What's Her Face was there. I thought he said like something. Just like, huh?
So if Frank Collins comes back and does that voice, I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave.
You're just hearing voices in your head, Jason. That's all.
Hey, that's
no. I do my personal.
Sometimes I have to consult a professional.
No, I know, Gary. Don't worry. I'm
just wondering.
Hearing voices in his head.
No, I'm just wondering. Are they going to make him talk like Yoda? Or are they going to make him talk just normal? I mean, like
Yoda.
Yoda. We never heard Yaddle speak, did we? In episode 1, she never spoke, did she?
Who?
And Yaddle. She was the other Yoda species in episode 1. The female.
Oh, right. Sorry, you talk about the films. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So we'll see how that pans out. I just want to see him end up being a Mandalorian and maybe using some Force powers as well at the same time, which would be pretty cool. So God damn it, Bird! Please, please, please. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, this is going to be a Star Wars year, by the way, fellas. Other than Book of Boba Fett, we'll be getting the Obi-Wan series, which I think everyone's looking forward to the most this year. And I'll tell you what, I'm actually looking. I'm starting to now look forward to the Andor series. I wouldn't mind that. At first I was a bit against it, but now I think fuck it, see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that you McGregor, I don't know what photo of youth he's got, but he's in his 50s. He still looks the same like he did when in like 35.
50 is the new 40, mate.
And maybe it's because he's shagging Flamey and
drinking that unicorn blood.
Look, all I know what to expect for Obi-Wan and Mandalorian is that they're going to both get pushed to the side by some other fucking character, some one-dimensional Mary Sue. You know it's coming. So if they avoid that trap, I'll look forward to it. Like Obi-Wan, I'm more looking forward to it again just to see what director Deborah Chow can do, because her Mandalorian episodes were fucking amazing, and so I just want to see what she does with Jedis more than anything. Like,
I mean, Boba Fett's going to show up now in Obi-Wan, so I mean, it's going to be like a leapfrog effect. You're going to just have all, except it's going to be before Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. So
yeah,
they have to make sure they cover their bases really well, because I don't want things to ruin episode 4, so to speak, because there's a lot of things from the prequels that don't make sense in the original trilogy, and they don't want to do that again. So I hope that no problem. And as I said before regarding Andor, I am looking forward to that. Now they're going to be doing at least 3 seasons of that, so it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Apparently Daisy Ridley, no, sorry, it was not Daisy Ridley. What was the name of the lady who was in Rogue One?
Why can't I remember her name?
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, no,
it's not Emilia Clarke. She's from Game of Thrones, dude.
No,
she was the guy in Rogue One. No, I know you mean. You mean what's the face?
Is it Penelope something?
No. You mean
Jyn Erso.
Well, that's her.
The West Witch actress. I can't remember what the name is.
Jyn Erso.
Yeah, what's her real name?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up now.
Oh, Felicia Hardy.
Felicity Jones.
Yeah,
that's it. Right, Felicity Jones.
No, I knew who you were talking about. I just couldn't remember her real name.
Apparently, she's going to be coming back in Star Wars. But if that's the case, then I could possibly see her in.
Did she get killed?
She got killed at the end of Rogue One, like everyone, which is basically how I wanted Rogue One to end. I did tell everyone in Rogue One I wanted to end in 2 ways. I want everyone to die, and I want it to end at the beginning of episode 4, which is exactly what happened. I couldn't believe it happened that way. I was so fucking ecstatic it happened the way I wanted it. And but nevertheless, they might have Jyn Erso in Andor. Hello.
Okay, so I kind of disagree with you on it, because like with Rogue One, like I thought it was very ballsy for them to kill everybody, which is fine, but I kind of just wish it was more like more people died than lived, because then you do kind of limit yourself for what you can do in the future. And I didn't necessarily want a sequel to Rogue One, but I still felt like some people, like everybody dying is like, yeah, it's kind of bookended. Okay, I can see, and it's very ballsy. I get that, and more props to them. But I really feel like they could have maybe just killed more than they saved.
Well, this is why we go with the prequel treatment, dude. Because that's how you bring them back. With showing them how they get to that particular position.
Yeah, but if you put Jyn Erso like in Andor, like why? Like they had never met prior to that, so why have them in there?
The point is, you do what they've been doing now, like they did with Boba Fett. Like you have a whole different story. With a different character.
Andor's going to be
going to have episodes that focus on her.
Yeah, exactly. So because
we'll probably get Saul Guerrero coming back as well. We might even see. I don't know if he's in it. Riz Ahmed. I don't know if he's in it. We might even see him betraying the Empire.
Yeah, he was a former stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want
So-
that though. I don't want this to be the Rogue One prequel. I want this to be just a series that focuses on Andor and the rebellion prior to.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't want
this to be the
to
Rogue
know
One
every
prequel.
character's backstory. I just want to see him fighting the war.
Yeah, and like just
Well-
what the rebellion was like before Rogue One and A New Hope. So
Yeah,
Well, rumors are is that they filmed 12 episodes already of Andor. So what they're going to do initially, they were going to give all 12 episodes as one season, but they're going to do 6 episodes as one season.
no,
And
see,
the other
that's
6 episodes.
bullshit. Like that's
And the
just
other
them
6
spacing.
episodes
no,
is
they've already no, they've started filming season 2.
I thought they were filming season 3.
No, they're filming season 2.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
eventually these guys are going to get old, so they're going to have to do it before they start making themselves look older than what they were in fucking Rogue One, even though these are prequels. So yeah. And then other than those 2 shows, I'm not sure what else is going to be coming Star Wars wise apart from Mandalorian season 3, which I believe will be coming.
I also hope they get Gareth Edwards to direct a couple of the episodes of Andor, the guy that directed Rogue One. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, he knows it. He knows it well, so it'll be interesting. I'm not necessarily in favor of too much stuff around that period now. I mean, I'm more interested in the period that bridges the gap between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, because we've got a lot of stuff, which is during the Empire, before the Empire, and all that sort of shit. Yeah.
Well, the thing that I'm interested in them doing, and I know that you guys are probably going to roll your eyes, is a Thrawn trilogy.
Well, they're going to do Thrawn with not necessarily a trilogy, but they're going to do Thrawn as like the Thanos of Star Wars through the Ahsoka Tano series. So they're going to probably like with Ahsoka Tano, maybe if they do get
everything.
Rogue, if they do eventually get Rogue Squadron off the ground, that and Mandalorian, Boba Fett and stuff, that's pretty much all set in the same timeline. So eventually, I think all these components will come together and fight Grand Admiral Thrawn. I think they might bring back a live action version of Ezra Bridger from the Rebel series as well, which seems to be the next live action character to bring back. Sorry, animated character to bring into live action, in my opinion. And maybe the guy from Jedi Fallen Order as well. People were talking about him, but he'll be like in his 40s now as well. So see if he's around. So
I'd like to see him come back. He's a good actor. His Joker in Gotham was amazing.
Yeah, my only issue with some of this stuff is that it kind of tarnishes Empire Strikes Back. Like Luke Skywalker was supposed to be the last Jedi. If he died, that's it. The Jedi Order is finished. Yeah, and now you find out there was people like Ahsoka and the guy from Jedi Fallen Order and Ezra Bridger and Ezra Bridger's master and stuff like that. Like there's more than
that's George Lucas's fault. He wrote himself into a corner, and I'm kind of glad they ignored that. If I'm being honest, because that's
fair enough.
And the galaxy is a really big place. Like, I mean,
you think
I can understand if like you could only find like one, like you couldn't find the Jedi because they were in the outskirts of the galaxy or whatever. But like I felt like the galaxy is a big place. They couldn't have gotten all of them. Some of them probably put themselves into exile, like Yoda and
they lost their connection with the Force as well to hide.
Mm-hmm.
You could do
so that. They just turned out to be normal. Like not everybody's gonna look at them and be like, oh, "You're a Jedi." Like it's not like they have like a tattoo on their face that says Jedi. All the members of the Jedi Order were dead, but like maybe some of them got away and like and all that. But
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you're right. They did write themselves into a corner and stuff as well. And now and I'm not sure if they're ever going to. I don't think they're going to abandon the sequel trilogy. They're just going to accept it for what it is by the looks of things. And they're going to try and bridge the gap now, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of that because I think the sequel trilogy is a big pile of shit. They were given the golden egg and they fucking ruined it, in my opinion. Never thought about what they were doing, so this is how it is now. But yeah, they're going to bridge the gap. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out over the next few years, especially with a de-aged Luke Skywalker. And now they've got the technology, they can de-age everyone. It'd be good to see the gang back together again. Like, you remember in Rise of Skywalker, Lando Calrissian said that him and Luke went searching for some artifact. It was that dagger, wasn't it? Yeah. So hopefully we'll see that play out. Luke, a de-aged Lando, a de-aged or a deep fake Lando, a deep fake Luke doing that. I would like to see that actually happen.
It'd just be another disappointment, pretty much. I don't know. I feel like the farther we go into these time frames, like the original trilogy time frames, I kind of feel like we're gonna be getting just fucked in the ass as fans, because I mean they're screwing with Boba Fett, which is fine by me. I don't care, because I don't care about Boba Fett. But like, the Mandalorian turned out to be a pretty big joke by the end of season 2, and now he's going to be another. He's second fiddle to Grogu. And then, I mean, I'm kind of scared, because if Andor's not good, they need to do something different. They need to go 100 years in the future, back to the High Republic, or not the High Republic, the Old Republic. Do something different. Do something that they aren't like in this time frame of like the Skywalker saga. Like, honestly, if they go even if they did a Poe Dameron series that went after the sequels, I'd be okay with that, because you don't have to tiptoe around all of this stuff and the sequels and the prequels and all that. Like, you can kind of just it's your oyster. You have all the room in the world to play with it. And that's why I was kind of hoping that Andor series would turn more into a Poe Dameron series, but okay.
I agree. I agree with you, which is why which I'm kind of concerned regarding the High Republic, because at least with the Old Republic we had Sith, and so a massive faction of Sith as well. There was no rule of 2 back then, so I would like to see that, and maybe in the more Games of Thrones sort of style. But with the High Republic, like, I really feel that Disney are going to be repeating the same shit, the same fucking mistakes they made.
Well, the High Republic is rubbish. It treads on fucking rubbish ground. I tried to get into it because I know it's going to be put into the live action, and it's just awful.
It's the same mistakes again, Junes. They're going to repeat the sequel mistakes, in my opinion, and they're not learning, because even though like some of their recent stuff, with Boba and Mando have been very hit and miss, in my opinion, that shit has saved Star Wars to a degree, and compared to their sequel trilogy. And I just feel they're going to repeat the same mistake, because they want to Disney want to implement their shit, in any capacity as well. So they're finding a period in time where they think, this could be our time, High Republic period, because the Old Republic is kind of established in canon or in lore. Just done a New
Republic series then. Like, after, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand this going back in time all the time. Like, what? Like, can we move on? Can we? I mean, the sequel trilogy happened, and I get it. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people wanted it to be non-canon. Blah blah blah. I don't think they're going to do that. People need to get over that.
I agree. As much as I don't like it,
but the thing is that Star Wars needs a Kevin Feige or somebody who is in charge of the canon and says.
But they have Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, dude, they've got Jon Favreau and they've got Filoni.
They're not blowing me away, if I'm being honest.
No, but I'd rather have them than, I'd rather still have them. I mean, Filoni's going to always fall back on some of the characters he created, like Tanner and Bane. Go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, but here's the thing is that I do think Filoni and Favreau would do better in a overall capacity, because right now they're just trying to cram everybody into their current series, which is Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. If you gave them creative control over like all of the products, then there's a possibility that, hey, we can do that. They don't have to do so much crossover, because they're all going to have their own thing going, and Filoni and Favreau can greenlight, whatever. Hey, we want to have more Mandalorian, like in shorter sequence, then they can do that. But I feel like they're just trying to cram all of their properties that they're working on, which is Mandalorian and Boba Fett now, into the one series is that they have running at the time. That's why they're doing the whole Mandalorian thing in the Book of Boba Fett. They're like, well, we could wait to do this till Mandalorian, but let's just throw it in Book of Boba Fett because this is our baby, just like Mandalorian is. So might as well do it. So that's why I say like this is Star Wars on Disney Plus season 3 instead of being Book of Boba Fett season 1. It's just
yeah. And we just go to different stories. Yeah.
So I think maybe giving them that overall control and letting them kind of branch things off might be better than them trying to cram all the stuff they want to do into one, line. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they're trying to get all their stuff in, no matter where they put it in at. So when Andor comes out, like, is it going to be is there going to be a ton of other cameos coming in there because they want, let's do this with Boba Fett now. This was Boba Fett before he went to the Empire and Empire Strikes Back. And all of a sudden Boba Fett's in a couple episodes. And then there's a couple.
Don't forget, we still got that New Republic, whatever it's called, show coming as well.
The Rangers of the Republic or whatever.
That's the one. Yeah, that.
Is that that's set in post Return of the Jedi, like Mando and
set in the current period of Boba Fett and Mandalorian.
So yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, but that's gonna be another hodgepodge. I feel like that's almost gonna be like an Avengers of the Star Wars Disney Plus shows. Like it's gonna be a lot of these characters.
And Ahsoka's also going to be set in this timeline as well. So everything's just set in this fucking timeline. It's just like
go elsewhere.
Go elsewhere.
But regarding Andor, I do want to see Boba Fett in that. That would be good. Seeing him Boba Fetting, doing what he's known for, getting bounties and stuff. That would be awesome if we see him in that.
I guarantee you, if they put him in Andor, they're gonna be like, "Look, Boba Fett was always this way prior to Empire Strikes Back. That's just how he acted during like that period when he was working for the Empire. Like he was actually a good-hearted soul way back then too." Like I guarantee
you could get a slimmer actor.
But you could have a good character, but you could have them have a bit of an edge, like because this is one thing that annoys me. Like sorry, I mean, for those of you who aren't Star Wars fans, there's a big debate. There's a big debate that goes on about like did Han shoot first, which is an entire thing. The thing is that
Han shot first.
Han shot
yeah,
first,
but there's a debate about it anyway. Anyway, so the thing is that Han Solo isn't a bad guy, but he's a good guy, but he's a morally usable character that he'll do what he needs to do to survive. You can have Boba Fett basically be that, but because we've got Disney who can't have great, because you have to be a good guy or a bad guy. It's like no, there can be morally great characters, especially Star Wars. We got people who will do bad things but for a good reason, or do good things for a bad reason. You don't have to be these, virtuous people or mustache twirly baddies.
No, Disney can't do that though. It doesn't have grey. It's black and white. That's it.
That's why Mandalorian was such a disappointment.
Yeah.
I'm starting a new movement, everybody. It's going to be called Guido Didn't Kill Himself. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Guido didn't shoot himself.
All right, so look, I think we'll wrap this up now, fellas. Now tomorrow, we're on Peacemaker, so hopefully I'll see some of you guys for that because at least 3 of us are enjoying that show.
You won't fucking see me in
it. Ginger, I'm gonna make you get in here, and I'm gonna put toothpicks in your eyelids.
I'd rather cut my dick off.
But what's the next Disney Plus show? Is it Moon Knight?
Yeah, March 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
bet you hate it, Ginger.
Do you know what? That was really interesting.
I'm going in with.
It looks interesting, but it depends on if they got the balls to do Moon Knight or give us Disney Princess Moon Knight.
No, they're not. As long as he throws random bullshit like in the comic books, that's all I care about.
Yeah, random bullshit. Go.
Yeah.
Give us that.
Oh look, we already saw what they've done with fucking Kingpin in Hawkeye, which was they Disney-fied the fuck out of him.
Look
I mean, they Disney.
I mean,
oh my god.
Non-Disney related. Check out Legend of Vox Machina if you haven't already.
I want to watch that now. After I saw it, I saw your review on that. I'm going to watch that this weekend.
Amazing, brilliant.
Yeah,
just gets better and better. Yeah,
is it as good as League of Legends?
Critical Role, like
Critical
Role, whatever that is. I don't know. I just see animation, and I'm a whore for animation, so I just went for animation.
You're just
have you seen Reacher yet? By the way,
no.
I watched.
Not going to bother you until it's finished. Then I'll binge it.
It's all 8 episodes are on. I binged it.
Oh, is it?
I binged it over 2 nights. I did a review of it for NerdTube.
Any good?
It's all right.
So Ginger,
he's a Jack. He's basically he's Sherlock Holmes with muscles. You know what I mean?
Well, I like the Tom Cruise film Jack Reacher. I thought that was a good.
Yeah, but Jack Reacher in the book, boss, but in the books he's supposed to be like built like a brick shithouse, very tall, but he's also as intelligent as he is strong. And you do notice that, and it's good to see the guy who played Hawk from Titans play that role, because he plays a fucking idiot in Titans. And this role of Jack Reacher, he's playing a very intelligent man as well as a very jacked up man. So it's pretty cool to see him in that role.
Lee Charles, who writes the book, said that a lot of people didn't like Tom Cruise for it, but I thought Tom Cruise did a pretty decent job of it.
I mean, he has a Michael Keaton problem with that one. He just doesn't look the part.
Yeah, he doesn't look. He's too short.
Doesn't look the part.
He needs to be 6'5". Yeah.
Well, Zam's all about the imagery and all that. So he has to see, and
he's so shallow.
Yeah, he's shallow.
No, I don't mind Tom Cruise. The first one especially was very good, but now I got to know more about Jack Reacher. It's nice to see him being portrayed like he is in the books. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
cool.
All right, then, guys. Well, look, we'll be back tomorrow with Piss Taker. So please join us for that around between say 10 and 11:30 UK time. We'll have a schedule for you, and you'll see my personal review of it sometime tomorrow morning. So take care, everyone, for that. And thank you, Cheeto, Greek, and Gary. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Bye-bye.